here with Jeff Kaplan, Managing Director of THINKstrategies. Jeff, welcome.
Good to be here with you.
So congratulations. I saw that you were named one of the top 25 bloggers on cloud computing, so that's great. So tell me, over the course of this past year, what's been the biggest impact in our market?
Well, as we can see here at DreamForce, the world is moving in our direction, even more so than the last time we talked last year. The fact of the matter is, because of the continuing uncertainty about the economy, because of continuing pressures around competition, and most importantly, because of the new or mobile workforce, moving to the cloud has become more imperative for more companies across more industries than ever before. And we're here to do all we can to help educate and promote the advancement of the cloud marketplace. And our friends at Salesforce are providing a lot of cloud cover, so to speak, and helping us to do that.
So what are some of the tech trends that you've seen in the past couple of years that maybe were overhyped, and can they ever live up to that hype?
Well, you know, there's a lot of hype here, but unfortunately I think the cloud industry is up to a lot of it. Now, the topics I'm talking about are, I think, some of the key topics. So one of them is the cloud channel issues, how you partner for success in the cloud. The second one, which a lot of people here are talking about, is analytics. How do you capture the data? How do you collate that data? And how do you distribute that data across the workforce so they can act more effectively and your customers can respond more appropriately? And then the last one is around cloud management, because all of these things are coming out of organizations from all directions, with consumerization and with other enterprise initiatives, and it's being mixed in with a lot of legacy systems. And a lot of the folks who are here today and for this week are IT professionals trying to figure out, how do I gain control of this mess and watch it through a single pane of glass, so to speak, with companies like BMC and SIIA, IBM, and HP getting involved in that aspect of things.
So Marc Benioff said something interesting this morning. He always does. He said that by 2017, most of the IT spend will be in the CMO budget. What do you think about that?
You know, that was actually a statistic that he took from Gartner. It's gotten a lot of publicity. And I think, if you look around here, it's starting to ring true in the sense that if we take a look at the Facebook phenomenon, take a look at everything's happening with Twitter, or we take a look at three boys like my own, who are 23 now, 20 and 17, who are driven by what's happening on their Facebook page, what's happening with their Twitter accounts. That new dynamic is what's driving almost every organization in terms of how they communicate with their customers. And the CMO is increasingly responsible for figuring that out using the kinds of technologies that are being born in the cloud. So, you know, I don't like to give Gartner its due, but in this case, you have to give them credit, because whether they could really quantify it or not, just making the prediction helped to serve a purpose, which was to bring attention to this shift in power between the CIO and the CMO, and how the two of them are going to have to collaborate ultimately to be successful.
That'll be interesting. So you mentioned the importance of the channel. We know that you have your annual Cloud Channel Summit coming up in November. What key takeaways are we going to see from that?
Well, first of all, we're happy to have the SIIA and you personally involved again. You've always been very helpful and supportive. And what we're going to see this year is very interesting. Last year, we initiated the event in hopes of bringing attention to the fact that the market that is the cloud industry is evolving to a point where it needs to build effective channels to market, and the nature of the cloud changes those channel relationships. And in truth, we didn't get a lot of the channel companies to participate because they weren't quite ready to hear that story themselves. But the first company that signed up this year for the new event, the second annual event, is a company called Tech Data, which is one of the premier channel companies who in fact wants to talk about what it's doing in the cloud. What we're also pleased about is a number of the companies from last year are coming back, in particular Salesforce.com. Now, anybody knows Salesforce knows they don't need to promote themselves in a lot of places, and they certainly don't need to sponsor third-party events. They're sponsoring our event for the second year in a row. The same person who spoke for the first one is coming back, Ron Huddleston, who is Mr. Partner at Salesforce. In fact, he was a keynote speaker yesterday here. and I spoke to Ron right after that, talking to the city. He was very excited about it. What he wants to do is report back to the audience all the things that he's been trying to do and what he's accomplished over the past year of Salesforce, and use that as an indicator for where the market is. So we have them coming back, we have IBM coming back, and we've added Oracle and SAP in addition to a lot of other players. So we're very excited, and once again, we're very pleased to be supporting your event, the All About the Mobile event.
Yeah, so our event taking place in November, what are you seeing in the mobile space? I mean, I know for us, we're seeing ISVs now, they recognize mobile is important. They recognize it needs to be part of their business strategy. They haven't figured out how to monetize it, how to build it into their strategy. What are you seeing when you're talking to companies?
Well, what I see is the fact that everything we do is becoming a mobile app. And unless it's mobile, it's not relevant. So the first step is translating the old kludgy apps that we're using on our desktops and our laptops into something that fits that mobile device. But the second thing is recognizing that our behavior when we are mobile is different, and that we have to understand the heuristics, so to speak, of how that customer thinks, how that end user behaves. And that's what's challenging a lot of people here. And again, that's where Salesforce is trying to pioneer. That area, and a lot of what they've been talking about this year in particular is about how they're moving their applications to mobile devices they call touch, right? So it's the right time to have a conference like yours to really hone in on that subject and give people an opportunity to share their experiences and best practices.
And do you think companies should stop worrying about trying to monetize it right now? They just got to do it to keep up with the marketplace?
Yeah, well, I think there are two aspects of that. I mean, there's some companies who basically need to transfer their apps to mobile devices just to stay current. And that monetization is all wrapped up on the quality of that app. There are other companies who want to use the mobile device as a mechanism to touch the customer. And that again has to do with other kinds of functional capabilities around engagement, which is the most important term that people are using today, and how we work with our customers, and how we also serve our employees and our partners.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for taking the time with us today. We look forward to working with you on the upcoming events and future ones as well.
It's always a pleasure. See, always a pleasure to work with you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.